review for the movie called Thor: Love and Thunder. This is gonna be my last review for the moment, but I'll do more reviews when I get the chance, when I get time to do so. But at the moment, it's gonna be my only final review for a big MCU movie for me at the moment, as of right now. But I'll do more when I get the time and do other stuff when I have the time. As of right now, it's a review for Thor: Love and Thunder. Hope you guys enjoy.
I'm going to be blunt. I have never liked any of the Thor movies. When Thor is with the Avengers, he's fine because he plays off the other characters well and the chemistry works between Thor, Iron Man, Captain America, you know the rest. But when Thor is by himself in his own movies, there's something about him that just bores me. I
He
don't know
acts
what
differently, man.
I don't know what
Because
it is. I
you know,
don't know
what it is. He acts differently
I'm
because
giving my piece out.
yes, I know.
Can I give my piece
I'm
out
telling
first?
you. I'm telling you the reason why he's like that. And the Marvel stuff you're talking about, he is. He wants to be awesome in fighting, but he's the same character. Doesn't matter where you see it. If he's with the Avengers, if he's by himself, it's the same thing. I think you're thinking too much about it. That's the main
No, I'm
thing.
thinking that I have more enjoyment with him when he's teamed up with the Avengers as opposed to when
You're
Thor's by
saying is
himself.
that you rather him seeing with the Avengers instead of how being by himself. He makes him boring if he's by himself, right?
Look, I don't know why I don't like the Thor movies. I just don't know. It's one of these weird
Dude, by
things.
himself, actually, sometimes, if you think about it this way, if he's doing his own thing by himself, it gives him the character development he needs. But if he's with all the like Avengers and things
Yeah,
like
I
that,
mean it's
they don't have. There's some screen time they do have, but the thing is, the character will not be able to develop correctly. Sometimes there's occasions where characters will double up with the Thor and stuff like that. Think about all the movies integrated with all the MCU films.
yeah.
They slowly start connecting together. With the Thor films, Thor will not be in the Thor cinematic
I know. He
universe.
would just show up and so I agree with that.
That's the main
However,
reason
his
why.
powers are incredible. His powers are amazing, but I don't know. There's something about
That's the main reason
But
why
now we have Thor: Love and Thunder would be four film and four movies if you don't count all the other movies that came in between.
they
So
are supposed to be with that or not. It's if without those Thors, those actually Thors talks about his stuff. Without those movies, he will not be able to be in the cinematic universe in general. Think
that's
about
true.
it. Spider Man. If he was not there, he will not be in the MCU universe. If Hulk was not there, he will not be in the universe.
True.
Or any other characters, if they don't have a single
Right. Thor
part.
is an
No,
essential
I'm saying is that
Avengers
I'm
character.
saying
That's
is that for every movies, any kind of Marvel character they make, they have to make they have to make a character for them arc for that before they can add them into the story,
right, and I
into
have
the
had no
MCU.
issue with that at all. I'm talking about the movies themselves. The movies themselves just don't interest me. I don't know why.
I'll
But
also
anyway,
I'll recommend you rewatch them again. I
well, I'm
think
probably gonna do that anyway.
yeah,
I have
rewatch them
plans
because it'll
on
help you
watching
to
all the I have
it'll
plans
help
on
you.
watching all the MCU movies from the very beginning, just starting over and just watching
I
it
think if you
from
do
straight
that,
down the
I
line.
think
You
it'll
know,
definitely will help you to like a little bit Thor a little bit more as
possibly.
well. I think the main reason we don't like his character is because you think that he acts differently if he's with the Avengers and without the Avengers.
The point is, I don't know why. I just don't know
Because
why,
many people think that when they watch the Thor film,
and I can't explain
they
it. It's just
know
something that
they know for a fact that Thor will act differently in that version of the cinematic universe with all the Avengers and stuff like that. And think about it this way: if you have noticed in the Avengers, he is
yeah,
brutal, and when he try to use the
smart Alec.
no, when he
He's
used the hammer,
cocky.
the
He's
axe, Thor said, Thanos says you gotta go for my head. But the thing is, he didn't because he did it with some anger and he didn't go for that. He didn't do that right away. He did it for he didn't think straightly when he had the hammer. He mistakenly uh, put through his chest instead of his head. He did it the wrong way. I think he didn't think what he was doing. He didn't do it the right way.
Well,
Sometimes
he was angry. He wasn't really.
that's the
And when
main
you're
reason.
angry, you're not thinking straight. So
That's
it makes
that's the
sense,
main
you know?
reason why.
Yeah, I
Sometimes,
mean,
sometimes if he's
but that
alone,
worked. That
yes, but
worked.
yeah, it worked. But I'm telling you, sometimes when he's alone, it makes him think better. Think about all the stuff that happened to his life when he was with the Avengers. He lost a lot of people, a lot of friends, a lot of everybody. He lost Iron Man. He lost everyone he cared about and things
Spoiler
like
alert.
that. That's they have seen all that stuff. Don't worry about it.
Mm.
So Thor lost a lot of people in his life, even his mother and things like that, and everybody he cared about. Even Loki died twice, died again, came back again, died again.
He died like 4 times.
But he came back so many times. The thing is, what I'm trying to say is, even though all those deaths, he knows what he's doing. Still wants to protect the Earth, and still he wants to do what is right. Because
That I agree with.
if he in the first Thor film, he he went to a realm without Odin's permission, and that's the main reason why he was he was
If I remember correctly, his father banished him to Earth,
banished to Earth
took his
because
powers away, and
took
then the
powers
hammer
away.
was basically sitting on a rock somewhere. And
That's the main reason he was not worthy to pick it up, and he was not ready to do it because he was obsessive, not thinking straight, and not a perfect god at the time.
and arrogant.
Arrogant. Now he is no longer that kind of person because he
I will
learned
admit he did
all of that.
mature.
If you
So-
have noticed all the Thor films, he has matured all through the first Thor film. He matured all the way through to Thor: Love and Thunder, way better than I assumed. And
Right,
who
and
plays the Thor? He does a
Chris
phenomenal.
Hemsworth.
He does a freaking phenomenal job as Thor.
So
Perfect
Thor
choice
Love
for
and-
Thor.
True. For Love and Thunder, the movie is about this god-slaying evil force known as the Godslayer, and he has taken revenge against all the gods who have essentially disowned him. So what happens is that in the opening
He
scene,
was asking
the
for
main
help.
character, but not main character, but the Godslayer, he finds
Asking
his
for
daughter
help.
dead.
He was asking for help.
Yes, he finds his daughter dead. He goes to this forest area, asks this god for help, and then he turns a blind eye. But then there's this powerful sword that calls to him, and then he kills that god, and then he vows that he's going to get revenge on every single god because they turned a blind eye. They weren't willing to help him. And so now Thor finds out that his ex-girlfriend Jane, again played by Natalie Portman, now possesses Thor's abilities, and that is in large part due to the fact that she found the hammer that was smashed up by that one woman.
There's
I can't
also
think of her
something to
name
that.
at the end of Ragnarok, and then
She's a villain in that too.
I don't remember her name. The point is, she finds his hammer, and now Asgard is in New Zealand. I don't know. The point is, New Asgard, because in Ragnarok...
You have your iPad with you? Go get it.
I have it.
Okay, I'm
It's right here.
Continue talking.
Alright, so let me get Safari on. Hold on a second.
Type in Thor Ragnarok and type in the villain.
Here you go. So anyway, Jane has stage 4 cancer, and she believes that if she possesses one of Thor's hammers, that she will be able to be stripped away of her cancer. So now she has these abilities. And the movie doesn't really explain that well why. The only thing that is mentioned is that why Jane has these abilities. It's only explained that
the reason why she had
the hammer
powers,
called to her.
That's how she got her powers, dude. Without the hammer, she doesn't have the abilities because Thor automatically was already a god when he was a kid.
But
anyway.
Jane was called to the hammer.
That's how she got the powers in the first place.
Yeah, that's what I was explaining.
But you said that the reason why. You also said how she got the powers is because.
I was getting into why she has the abilities. I was getting into that.
Yeah, okay.
What the thing was that they explained about why she has these abilities is that the hammer called to her, and
it's called Helena. The villain is Thor Ragnarok is Helena. Odin does something.
Odin's
I think that's a daughter of Odin's son or some shit like that. That's my
different
guess.
movie. The point is, Jane has these abilities now, and these children have been kidnapped by the main villain to be used as bait so that he can get Thor's axe to use. So the main villain wants to use the axe to be called to Eternia, which Eternia is a god within itself. It's essentially infinite. And the way they kind of built up Eternia was really well done, I will admit. But anyway, now they have to rescue these kids, and then on top of that, try and figure out what is really going on. So really, that's kind of the whole movie. So the Guardians of the Galaxy are here for 5 minutes. Then they just kind of fly off into their own adventure for hopefully Guardians of
At
the
least they
Galaxy
were there,
3.
though. At least they were there.
For hopefully Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which so far
I mean,
nothing
at
has
least the
turned up
Guardians
yet.
of the Galaxy characters were there.
True, and I like them, in all fairness, but the problem was
It's a
they
Thor
were
film,
walk-ons, they were cameos.
It's a Thor
They
film, not
could
a,
have been utilized more, but they weren't, so whatever.
but it's a Thor film, not
I
a
know.
Guardians of the Galaxy movie. So, yeah.
Anyway, so the rest of the movie is essentially just Thor and Jane trying to reconnect after 8 years.
There's a lot of good moments in that too as well. Really good moments.
Right,
to have in
but now we've turned the movie into a rom-com. And then
not
there's
bad.
and then there's random scenes where Thor's axe starts having a personality which it never had before.
It does. They don't show it though.
It never had a personality, and in fact, in one of the Avengers movies, Thor has both the hammer and the axe, and neither of them. I can't believe I'm saying this. Neither of them had an issue with one another, but now
You
all
know
of a
why?
sudden,
You know why?
but now all of a sudden, the axe becomes jealous and is upset.
You know why? You know why I was jealous?
Why the hell does the
I'm
axe have a personality?
Let me explain you. Remember when I
None of this
said,
makes no
remember
sense.
Thor, right? Thor actually said, before, when they were together, right? Thor said to the hammer, always protect Jane when Jane needs the most. That's the main reason why the hammer went to the millionaire went to Jade and always protected her.
Okay,
and
if that part makes sense,
even then he's trying to get the hammer back, he doesn't want to go to him.
Yeah,
Because,
it doesn't want to work because
no, he doesn't want to go to him because it
has a contract now.
Not a contract, but
a sworn duty to protect Jane.
because Thor said to do that.
Yes.
That's the main. They just want to
A
break
sworn
that
duty
bond.
to protect Jane at all
But
costs.
the other thing is that when the axe came, like, I know you missed your own thing, but you have me now, so you better like me. Or that's the reason why it was a little bit jealous, man. You need to have some humor to that thoughts, because
No, the humor part was fine. It just was that it was a little inconsistent when you consider that in Avengers Endgame or Infinity War, whenever you ever,
because back in the time,
neither of them had an issue with one another.
because that particular moment Jane didn't have cancer. She didn't. But now she does in this film.
Right.
Because of something happened to her body or whatever it might have been. She had cancer and things like that. So back in the moments of other Thor films, she didn't have any problem. She had cancer and none had cancer, so she was fine. And that's the main reason why Thor can actually handle both the hammer and the axe at the same time.
Right.
Because the thing was that Thor did not at that time Thor did not suggest Jade to have the hammer in the first place, because at the time she was not sick and that stuff. She didn't. She was. I'm not sure if she. I mean, I think maybe she was worthy anyway in the first place, but we don't know until now. But until now, we know she's worthy and she's good. She has a pure heart and she could become a millionaire. But the thing is, without it, I mean, she needs to hold that to each time she uses it. She gets weaker every moment.
True.
But Thor says, "Do not use it more, or else you're gonna die." And
We're gonna make this a spoiler-free video, just to let you know.
but I'll add a spoiler. I'll add a spoiler alert sign. Don't worry about it. Watch the film and come back, then watch my review. I want to add a spoiler alert thing in there, so you don't have to worry about it.
Right, okay.
But the thing is, even then, that happens. This is gonna be spoiler and non-spoiler review together.
So we do kind of see the other gods, including Zeus, played by Russell Crowe, which is interesting to see Zeus in there from Greek mythology. So okay, we have I guess you can we'll call this a Greek mythology reunion kind of thing. So all the different gods are here. Some of them are dead, some of them are still alive, and the central arc is that Thor is trying to ask Zeus to borrow his lightning bolt so that way he can go to what is known as the Shadow Realm, because the children are essentially being transported over there to again be used as bait so that the main villain can use his axe to open the door to Eternia. And Zeus again turns a blind eye because he has a thing against Asgardians. It's not that he has a thing against Thor particularly, he has a thing against Asgardians in general for reasons A, B, and C.
You know, it's still a good thing that the hammers and the axe has a person. I still like that. I mean, in my opinion,
I still don't care.
because the reason why I like that
I'm
because
sorry.
it actually gives them something to. It gives them like I don't know some like a comedy thing for that because if they were bland hammers with no emotions, okay, this is freaking hammer.
Okay, so
no emotions. You know what I'm trying to
let
tell
me
you?
try and help you understand something. Okay, you know R2-D2, right?
Yes.
From the original trilogy?
Yeah.
Now imagine if they made another movie where R2-D2 is basically dead. He's just a carp.
Would
just
you
a
want
still
that particular
robot.
character?
That's
Would
what
you-
I'm asking you.
I wouldn't want that.
Exactly.
That's the
Why would
same-
you want?
That's the
Why would
same
you want the hammer?
That's the same
Now you're gonna-
concept.
Next
No.
thing you're telling me is that the
Dude, that's the same concept with the R2-D2.
in reverse.
In reverse. If you would rather have R2-D2 bored like a zombie ass mind moron, would you rather have that or
No!
would you rather have R2-D2 talking?
I'd rather have R2-D2 what he is.
Yes, but now when would you rather have a hammer and the axe not talk or no, well not talk, but or would you rather have an axe and a hammer not have a sense of humor, or would you rather have an axe be like that, or would you rather have an axe and a hammer have a sense of humor?
Oh, I see what you're trying to do. You're
Yeah.
trying to see the imperfections of
Yeah.
strange screenwriting choices.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would
I
you
see
rather
what-
have? See,
I
that's
see what's going
It's the
on.
same concept.
Okay.
So, would you rather have that particular moment, like they do use some things, but things like that it come back, but they don't have emotion.
I'm just saying it was bizarre.
But
That's all I'm saying.
it's a bizarre. But when they add it like that, it gives it something unique to their characters. It makes something
I'm just
unique.
saying
You
it was
know?
bizarre.
I
That's
know,
all.
I know. I'm not saying I'm
It
not
just
arguing
came
with
out of
that.
nowhere and I just found it weird.
Yes, but it's unique. When they added that, it's weird, but it's unique. They added something different element to it, make it kind of a little better, make them kind of unique, for their hammer.
I guess they
and-
wanted him to have some
Yeah.
kind of personality, but
That's
it
a
just
good
came
thing.
off as weird to me. I don't know.
I mean, if they automatically put it in the first film, would have been really weird. They probably took it slow and added personality a little bit later on. Maybe they wanted to add it in here because it made kind of interesting because it's called Thor: Love and Thunder. Think
Mhm.
about that. So
There is a theme of
No.
finding love again after
there's a lot of good
some time.
soundtracks.
So I guess
a lot of good
the
soundtracks.
soundtrack is incredible.
Good
a lot of Guns N'
soundtracks.
Roses and a bunch of other
I'm
artists,
sorry.
but it's really good.
Good
I'm a
visuals.
fan of rock music,
Good
so that
visuals
was
and everything.
really nice.
Good visuals.
But
good
overall,
soundtrack
I
and
found-
everything.
I found kind of a story to be very kind of, I don't know, it's just something about these movies that I've never figured out why something about them bothers me. It's weird.
Rewatch them again, like I said.
I guess it's because, well, I will say this. The plot in this one is much better than the other ones. At least something's actually happening. You know, we have a god-killing machine. It's a big deal because we've seen what he can do. He's, without that sword, he's basically useless. So the whole goal is
Yeah,
to
other
destroy
Thor
the sword.
movies.
The other four movies were just kind of...
No, other Thor movies actually show how he was.
Yeah, I
Thor
guess
in
they show
general.
him maturing little by little, but
and they also show
it's
how
not
Thor
like...
actually how became.
But
Thor.
look at them as a whole. Look at them as a whole.
Yeah.
Are they really
This is
the
the
best
entire
that
Thor
MCU
arc.
has to offer?
This is the
I
entire
mean,
Thor arc, man. They'll first show how Thor, how he's now, how he became, how non-mature he is, and how mature he is right now. Think about all the stuff he has done, and all he's been through, all the way through that, and
Mhm.
including this. They're different. So all these stuff he's been through, all of his life with the Avengers,
Yeah.
and Avengers, things happened to his life, losing everything in his own life.
Don't forget his random appearances in
Yes.
Captain America: Civil War.
So there's
and,
a lot of stuff he has missed, lost, and everything. So
Mhm.
everything connects to that, to Love and Thunder.
Right, and that's not an issue. I have no issue with it at all. I'm talking about the quality of his own movies themselves. That's what I'm talking about. The
But
quality.
you're saying so if he was with Avengers, he'd be interesting. But
I'm
if
just
he,
saying I like him better with the Avengers. I don't know why.
dude, is because he acts.
I don't know why.
He acts differently. If he's in this film, this is the Thor movie, not the Avengers film.
I know.
Okay, if you want the Avengers film, watch the Avengers with Thor in it, or would you? This is a Thor film, so Thor movie has to be Thor universe, not the Avengers.
It actually was nice seeing for Jane, that one woman, I can't think of her name, and there's one or two other characters mixed in from the other movies, but it was nice kind of seeing them again. But I
But
don't
that's the
know.
main reason why it's called Thor, right?
Yeah.
It's not called the Avengers Thor Love and Thunder.
Okay, we got it. We got the point, buddy. We got the
Okay.
point. We got the point.
So
You
do not
made your point.
so do not
Okay.
say bad things about Thor with the Avengers. It just makes no
I
sense.
just, I just,
Rewatch that Thor again, you'll know what I mean.
yeah. My plan is to watch all the MCU movies again, so that won't be an issue. Anyway, it's nice seeing some of the other characters from the other movies again, but it just kind of felt like, as a whole, the movie itself was better than the other ones. So it passed. It passed. It's watchable. There's some parts of it that are enjoyable. There are some parts that are actually a little bit funny, but there are some parts of it that are
Like I
kind of
said,
awkward.
this movie is not amazing. I'll give you that.
No, it's not.
But the
None
thing
of
is,
them
it
are.
is funny. It is exciting. It has a lot of good moments and good thing. But like I said, there's some good MCU movies deserve a 10 and deserve a 9 and deserve a whatever. But
These
this
were more
one for
like
me,
popcorn movies.
no, for
but-
me, I'm probably gonna give it a 7 because it is still a good, decent. It's a decent film. 7 is a good number for this film because it's a Thor film. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's interesting. It has a lot of good moments.
I mean, I give
Comic
it.
act.
I give it a 6.
You gave it another. Well, you gave it one more point because of that one.
I
Point
changed my mind.
Why did you change your mind? What he
No,
actually
I
explained to
gave it a 5 originally, but then I gave it more thought, and I was like, yeah, there were some parts that I kind of enjoyed.
But
so-
you actually said you're gonna give it a 7 after that one. What other thing he explained to you? Remember?
Right. See, the thing is that I didn't know where that one villain came from. It just kind
What
of
villain?
The God Slayer.
He already explained it to you. He came.
Yes,
out-
I know, but now I know.
Yeah,
but
he
now
told
I
you,
know
yes.
where that came. Yeah, exactly. So I was just kind of like, okay, well, this is weird, but now I know where you came. Oh, that makes sense. All right. See, it's good to kind of
Why
ask
was
questions
it 6 though?
because again, there's something about the movie itself that felt very kind of not up to par with the other MCU movies. It kind of felt like
It's
it
because
can do
he's
better.
not. Because
It can
Thor
do
is
better.
not. You saying is that Thor is not in the. You saying is that Thor is not actually in the Marvel with the Avengers. That's the main reason why you don't
No,
like
I'm
him
talking
in there.
about the writing.
The writing. Yeah, the writing. I'm not saying that. Like I said before.
The writing's not great. It's kind of
The writing is decent. Think about it, other movies or other Marvel films and other DC movies have more shitty ass writing. Think about that, bro. If you compare the DC movies with has shitty writing and with the Marvel films has a decent and interesting writing, compare with DC writing and compare it with
Marvel has better writing 10 times
that's what I
over.
just said. You can't
But sometimes they've made some errors. And
some do, but this depends who the directors are.
True.
And that's the see
Taika Waititi, who won an Oscar for Jojo Rabbit,
and he's also one
comes
who
back to direct this
He also
one.
directed,
he also directed Ragnarok.
That's the main reason he came back to this film.
I guess
because
Ragnarok had a lot of Abwib moments.
a lot of
so-
interesting stuff. That's the reason why they brought him back. It shows that he did his work and decently to make a decent Thor film.
I mean, I guess Thor Ragnarok has some Abwib moments, and I guess fans really liked that, which is fine. But sometimes the reason why it didn't work in Ragnarok was because it was distracting. Here, the Abwib moments kind of helped the plot move a little better, so it kind of helped a little bit. So I guess he did learn from that a little bit. But overall, I thought it was fine. I thought it was fine. It was a fine movie. And you're standing there in silence, like I'm saying something bad or something. Like I'm just saying it's fine. Okay.
I think the main reason why you don't like it is because you just think that Thor should not have his own Thor films, and you just want him to be in the Avengers thing. That's the main reason why in his.
Okay, now we're getting into
No,
spoilers.
it's not spoilers. I'm not talking about spoilers. No, I'm talking about the fact that he was in the Avengers, right? Already. And Avengers Endgame is done. Endgame has finished.
Yeah,
So,
the Infinity Saga's over with.
So Thor came out of that. Thor came out of all the situations that happened to his life.
Yeah, but do you
Came
remember
from
him?
that, and now after that, I think this is actually Thor: Love and Thunder is actually after Endgame. This is actually from
Well,
Endgame.
after Endgame, there was Spider-Man: Far From Home, and
Yes.
then after that, it was Black Widow, and then Shang-Chi, Eternals, Spider-Man: No Way Home, and now this.
So there are every MCU universe films they are connected in different ways. You cannot assume, oh, they're connected this way. They have to connect this way.
Right.
They're connected in variations in different ways. And Thor, Ragnarok, and all the Thor movies are connected in different variations. You just gotta put them in where it goes and put them in
See, I have to like draw a map for half this stuff because
because,
it's like
like I
it's like
said, in the Marvel universe and phase, all the different phases you have,
yeah.
all the different phases you have in the Marvel Cinematic Universe are
Phase one was good because it introduced the main five Avengers characters,
that's how
and
they
that
do it
worked.
because they slowly every phases they do in the
Phase two tried to go more in depth in terms of the character arcs and personalities and
that's
the
what I'm trying to
lessons that
explain,
they
man.
learn and
You're interrupting
everything.
me.
Sorry.
I'm saying is that every different phases of the Marvel Cinematic Universe are different. So when they do all that stuff, they each phase they do, they have their own story arc, different arc. They do different character developments with each arc they do,
Right,
and
and
how
phase
that's what they
two
grow.
tried to introduce the Infinity Stones. And then phase three tried to connect all those elements together.
But with all the Avengers and all the
Yeah.
story elements and even Thor as well. So they because Thor's he's also because he's in there's also if you have also noticed that the gauntlet
Yes.
that Thanos has was
Yes.
actually in the what was it in Asgard. It was
Really?
it was there.
I never saw it. I saw Thor
There,
at,
no,
at
no,
a drive-in
no, no, it
when it
was
first came out, and I
no, it
never
was the.
saw
I
it.
think it's one of this. I don't remember, but one of the. It was like a post-credit scene. When he, I think one of the post. I don't know what movie it was in. One of the. It was like one of the Thor movies. I think. He says like, "I'll take care of this myself." So he goes to the. He goes to the Asgard somewhere. You can probably look it up. It should show up.
See, I don't remember
Look it
this.
up. Look it up and find Thor finds uh the the gauntlet
Maybe it was in the Avengers because
somewhere
somewhere in phase
because
one,
Thor
somewhere.
actually Thor Thanos
Thanos.
does go to the area of the Asgard and gets the gauntlet. He says, "I'll take care of myself on the other stones." That's what he says.
It's one of those movies. I don't remember which
But he
one.
does say that. So Thor movie and Thanos is connected to the universe as well because the gauntlet is locked
Was
up.
the Gauntlet stolen?
I don't know where the gauntlet came from, but the thing is, I believe the gauntlet was
If it
actually.
was stolen, that would make sense.
Think about it this way: Odin has all
An
different.
Asgardian betrayed
No, what I'm
Asgard, and
saying is that Odin has a lot of these different relics. You know,
yeah,
a lot of relics. He has uh, the glowing cube thing, or the tesseract.
Tazarac Stone.
He
Yes,
has a Tesseract. That's also another Infinity Stone if you think about it.
yes.
Tesseract, and he has the Gauntlet there probably.
I remember the Tazarac. I remember
The
that. That
Gauntlet is
was
also hidden. So that only I think only how it opened is something where I think someone grabbed the Tesseract and gave it to Thor. Gave it to Thanos. I
yeah.
think that's the reason why he had one of the stones. And maybe I don't know how.
That's why he was trying to find the other four.
I think he got the gauntlet from there, or maybe he already had it, or no, or he probably got the gauntlet
Right.
from Asgard. You can probably look it up. It should be somewhere.
You
But
can dissect this
I don't
anyway.
remember because it's a lot of MCU movies,
Oh
and
my
it's
god,
like it's so
there's
much.
too many.
It's so much because if you think about it, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, there's so many things, so many to dissect, so many all the elements, and
Yeah,
it is
it's
like I said, it is confusing. But if you look into it more, the Marvel Cinematic Universe and all these stories are very interesting because
true.
people will talk about it and think
They will
about
study it, analyze it,
get
talk about it
theories,
with other fans.
get some theories out of it. What will happen next? What was the new thing out of it here and there?
Right.
That's the main reason why we have the Marvel Cinematic Universe because it gives people to think what's the next story is going to be,
That's also why we have the internet.
and also what's a new theory, what's going to happen next with a new story, new arc, anything. Because
So
so yeah,
yeah, Thor: Love and Thunder is
wow, a lot of speak. Sorry about that. That was fun.
a lot to say.
But it
Thor:
was
Love
fun.
and Thunder is fine for me.
Like
It's
I said,
fine.
I'm
It's
gonna
better
give
than
it.
the other four movies.
Yeah,
But,
like I said, it's a Thor. This Thor movie, like I said, it is not a downgrade, but it is a good, decent grade, 7 out of 10. Because like I said, other Thor,
mild amusement, I guess.
yeah, but other Thor movies I did enjoy a little bit, like 8, I
You liked
more
it more than I did.
Yeah, some of the Thor movies I give it an 8, not a 9. Some of them were like most of them. All Thor movies I've seen so far are like mostly are an 8,
You
not
told
a.
me Dark World made no lick of sense.
Well, that one was a little bit like a 7 out of 10.
Mm,
But other ones, like other Thor movies, I did like. Some of them were like 8. That's the one you said that was a little bit like a 7. But the
hmm.
other ones were like 8 out of 10. This one is a 7 out of 10. Like I said, it depends on how the movie does. That's the thing is.
No, it depends on how it's
That's
executed.
what I'm trying to say.
It's not about how much money it makes, it's about if it's executed well enough. And for me, I thought it was okay.
One more thing, I'll let you guys know there are two post credit scenes you don't want to miss. Watch it because it is also Thor
They
will.
want to set it up
Well,
like,
because Thor is gonna come back again, in the I think it's gonna have like this is Thor 4, right?
yes,
Thor 4. So Thor 5 is gonna come out soon. I want to have a Thor right now because people say a lot of people say this Thor movie was good. And like I said, it was good. Like I said, 7 out of 10. But if for Thor 5, if they can, if they whatever they have done with this Thor movie, and if they can improve upon the next Thor film, add something much more interesting, more to what the two post scene they gave, it has to connect the Thor 5. If they can do that, then it could be a really interesting movie. And also the ending
mm-hmm.
with the I'm not gonna tell you the Thor and the small kid. I'm not gonna tell her name. What's gonna happen, whatever that is. But if
The
they
way
can,
it ends is a little ambiguous,
but if
though.
they can implement that particular part, then Thor 5, also interesting with that, and also post credit scenes and with that too as well. Definitely will make it much more good Thor film if they can do it in a different way as possible.
Right.
But other than that, like I said, this movie does great for me, 7 out of 10. And also another thing is I'll try my best to do other movie reviews best that I can because like I said, it's my last movie review at the moment, and I'm like I said I have a couple more days left, so I will not be able to do a lot of movie reviews at the time. But I'll let you guys know. I'll keep you guys updated what movie reviews is going to do next and here and there and other things I'll be doing in my life. I'll do more updates for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Until then, thanks for supporting my channel. Like
Thank you
always,
so much for watching.
thanks for always supporting my channel. Give me thumbs up here and there, liking my videos, watching it for fun, and enjoying my reviews and different reviews I've done, even streaming games. I had a little bit back here from streaming games for a little bit, reviewing some movies and some other things that happen in the world here and there. So I do a little bit something like that too as well. We get to enjoy all that too as well. So other than that, thanks for watching. Stay safe as always. Stay tuned for more reviews, more stuff I would do. Have a good night, guys. Stay safe and have a good night. Bye.
Good night.